What's up, guys? Okay, well, today we're going to be with Lieutenant Matthew Furman of the Melvindale Police Department in Michigan, and apparently he's at the center of some investigations, and we're going to see how and why this came to light. Trust and believe it wasn't because law enforcement brought it to light. Guess who brought it to light? WXYZ TV Detroit brought it to light. Also, I'd like to note, 82% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. Click the button and we'll move along. So let's see what is going on with Lieutenant Matthew Furman. Wonder if he's a new relation to Mark Furman. If you know, you know.
But we begin tonight with a Melvindale police lieutenant hit with a slew of criminal charges that could send him to prison for years. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you for joining us. Now, the charges stem from 3 separate alleged assaults that were all revealed by the 7 investigators.
For the last 8 months, 7 investigator Ross Jones has shed light on Lieutenant Matthew Furman's polarizing history with the department.
From a string of lawsuits.
Also, I'd like to note this goes back to at least 2021.
To allegations of excessive force and claims that he improperly tased people.
And while Furman has withstood past efforts to take his badge, the charges announced today mark the biggest threat to his law enforcement career.
7 investigator Ross Jones has the latest on these major developments.
When they talk about being tough on crime, sometimes that means being tough on criminals.
Today, Lieutenant Matthew Furman is accused of being a criminal after Wayne County's prosecutor authorized charges stemming from 3 separate alleged assaults dating back the last 4 years.
Also, I want you to notice the dates on these. This one here is going to be from 2021. This one, I believe, is going to be from July 20th, 2024. And this one's going to be from April 13th, 2024. So this one, nothing happened. Then this one, nothing happened. And then we had this one. And who brought it to light? The news.
Can you tell the cop? Can you tell I'm not going to hands on the roof.
July 20th, 2024.
Stop or you will get tasered. When I tell you to do something, you do it. End of story.
2 of the incidents involve use of a taser. In July of last year, Furman stopped Dracar Williams for driving around traffic barricades. Williams, who had a suspended license, should not have been driving. And after he refused...
Should not have been driving, only because the state tells you you can't drive unless you have your papers in order. It's total bullshit.
To provide his name, Furman moved to arrest him. While his partner held Williams outside of the car...
Hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Hands behind...
You know how they tell you not all cops are bad? So I'm guessing this guy here, Furman, is going to be the bad cop. This is going to be the good cop, but guess what? If this is a good cop, he stops none of it.
Your back. You do it. He got me.
Furman began to tase him repeatedly.
You stop. Stop. Doing nothing. Stop.
Furman
That is a psychopath.
said Williams was uncooperative, that he was fearful he could have been carrying a weapon.
They always say that. I thought he had a gun. I thought the phone was a gun. I thought the pack of cigarettes was a gun. I thought the mod was a gun. He shaped his fingers like a gun. I was in fear for my life. Fear for my life gives them carte blanche to do whatever they want, up to and including killing you.
After Williams was handcuffed, Furman would be seen arguing with him again. After Williams stood up, Furman did this.
You will not get up without our permission. Man, I gotta sit the down.
Also, notice all the other good cops that did absolutely nothing. They should all be charged.
I am sitting down. You pulling my hair.
He was never disciplined by his department, but today prosecutor Kim Worthy charged him with misconduct in office, felonious assault, and assault and battery.
Okay, misconduct in office carries a maximum of 5 years in prison. Felonious assault carries a maximum of 4 years in prison. And assault and battery is a 93-day misdemeanor.
We spoke with Williams today.
I told him, you're going to lose your badge over this. No, I'm not. He was confident. You're going to lose your badge.
I ain't gonna lose. You're gonna lose your freedom, but you get to go to jail today, mother.
Notice how he talks to people. Just, I ain't gonna lose shit. You're gonna go to jail today, motherfucker. He don't. That's what he thinks of. And here we have some, looks like medics, and nobody stopped any of it.
But it's because of you that they did something. So if it wasn't for you actually looking into something, they would have never found it.
No.
Morning, Lieutenant Furman.
This one is going to really piss you off.
And Melvindale Police Department.
He would also be charged over this stop from 3 months earlier, when Furman pulled over a vehicle that was already parked. Alicia Cook and her 2 daughters were sitting outside of a school while Cook waited to drop off her 11-year-old at cheerleading practice. When Cook didn't provide her license and registration, Furman tried to pull her from her vehicle, and after she resisted, he took out his taser and fired.
Of course.
Enemy taser! Help! Out!
Listen to the children screaming and hollering in the background. And it's going to get worse.
The charges that would be filed against Cook would be dismissed, and today she is suing Furman and the department for how she was treated.
I was terrified.
Notice the good cops standing around doing absolutely nothing
From you.
to stop
You
it.
terrified me. You scared me.
Listen to how condescending. I was terrified. You scared me. This is a psychopath. Right here. Psychopath. He's got no business with that badge. He's definitely got no business with the gun.
You scared me.
Furman was not disciplined by the department.
I am
It was not disciplined by the department. Well, of course not.
grateful that they, taking the time to say, hey, this person's actions was not okay. We're going to do something about this.
Today, we spoke with Alicia Cook.
My daughter that I was taking to school, she's in a mental hospital.
She's in a mental hospital. Let that sink in.
Today, so his actions caused a lot of pain, but I do forgive him.
Watch his door.
The earliest charges
Also, I want you to know there's going to be at least 12 uniformed officers here on this scene.
stem from this 2021 police chase. The suspect had stolen a vehicle, police said, after striking an officer. And after his vehicle crashed, the man fled on foot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got the one recording it. 8.
Before officers surrounded him. As
Just
officers
stomping on him. Why? This is from 2021.
tried to subdue the man, a Dearborn officer's body cam caught Furman.
Look at all the good ones. There's another one. He's looking like, the hell is going on here? There's 9. It looks like he's got, I don't know, an AR. That should be not short. That should be long distance. Look at all the good cops not doing anything.
Repeatedly stomping on the man's leg.
10, 11. There's another one over there. 12. There's at least 12
Another
there.
can be heard warning that cameras are rolling.
Cameras all around, guys. Yes, because they don't want anybody to know about this. Which is why nothing happened until now. And this one is from 2021.
The Dearborn officer reported Furman's actions to his supervisor.
One of them reported the actions. Why did none of them step in, grab this, pull him back? This outer carrier they have to have because they want to be military so bad they can't stand it. Pull him back, take that gun, take that taser, put him in handcuffs, and put him in the back of the car. Why did none of them do that?
Furman said the man was resisting, and he used
They always say that, resisting arrest, so I got to up my level of force.
the stomps as a form of pain compliance.
No, look at all these that have, he's on the ground. And look at all these cops here, but this one has to stomp him. You got all these male cops, and I don't know the fuck this shit here is. Can't get one guy under control? No.
He was not disciplined by Melvindale,
Was not disciplined, that's why he keeps doing it.
but was charged by the prosecutor today. Furman has
Today, 4 years later.
previously defended his actions, calling himself a proactive
And then you've always got to have the big fat one. Sergeant sitting in the office generally eating donuts.
police officer and saying it's never been more dangerous to be in law enforcement.
Because they bring this shit on themselves. They're out there doing this, and then they say, it's so dangerous. Law enforcement isn't even in the top 20 of most dangerous jobs. I think it's 23 or 24. The most dangerous jobs, so please stop. Cops acting like this is why it's getting progressively harder for cops to not get shot. I'm just going to say it.
As evidenced by the murder of fellow officer Mohammed Saeed just last year.
You know, people say, well, Furman uses too much force.
Now, look how smug he is when he says this.
he's too aggressive, he's a robot.
He is, absolutely, all of that.
And again, my goal is to go home alive.
His goal is to go home alive. If he has to kill you to do that, he will kill you to do that.
In his mind, he think he right. But finally, somebody else see that he wrong.
Well, Furman has not responded to messages seeking comment, nor has the city's police chief. The mayor declined comment on the charges from today. Lawrence Coogan, the city's corporation counsel, told me by phone he plans to meet with the city's public safety commission and deputy chief soon, moving to suspend Furman without pay as a result of the charges. He said the city needs to investigate who within the department allowed Furman's behavior to continue.
Well, they all allowed it to continue. I'm just saying. They sent a letter up the command about what he was doing, and they did nothing about it. So the upper echelons allowed it to continue. And if you think for 1 minute that the police unions are going to do anything about it, no. Their job is to keep uniforms filled and keep revenue coming in.
In the first place, Furman is set to be arraigned tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Well, you certainly brought all of this to light, and I know even young kids in Detroit now are taught how to respond when they're pulled over by police officers, and you should comply. But
Yes, but the female wasn't even pulled over by law enforcement. She was sitting in a parking lot waiting to drop off her daughter at cheerleading practice. And she's going to say, just comply, just comply. That's the problem.
you should also not be in danger when you're pulled over.
Well, and a lot of his biggest critics are his fellow officers.
Are they? Because I didn't see any of his fellow officers stopping anything he did. But then they'll go fill out some paperwork and send it up to chain of command, and then the chain of command does nothing.
And for them to be bothered by a lot of things that they saw, I think speaks volumes.
All right, we'll see where it goes from here. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross. So, that was August 7th.
Melvindale police officer accused of misconduct on the job again.
In fact, he's been accused of aggressive behavior 3 separate times dating back to 2021, but somehow he was always reinstated. Fox News' Dave Kinchin here with what he's accused of this time. Dave.
That's the accountability.
Well, we can tell you there's not a lot of talk coming from Melvindale officials tonight. The mayor of Melvindale says there's no comment at this time, and the police administration says the same as they got word of the charges, and now this process is taking its pathway forward. Troubled Melvindale police officer Lieutenant Matthew Furman now facing misconduct charges in 3 separate cases. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says in July 2024, Furman tased a man twice and kicked him after pulling him over for improper plates. April of 2024, prosecutors allege Furman tased a mother in front of her kids after failing to get her out of a car when she refused to show her ID. And in July of 2021, prosecutors say he kicked a handcuffed suspect multiple times after investigators say they fled a traffic stop.
I was surprised that criminal charges were filed. I'm aware of the disciplinary
Retired Detroit Police Assistant Chief. He is surprised charges were filed. That's why nothing gets done.
process in Melvindale. They've actually reached out to me, asked me for my opinion on this.
Retired Detroit Police Assistant Chief Steve Dolan says he'll be involved in a disciplinary process with a lot to sort out.
In a criminal case, they wait till the criminal case is done, and if he's found guilty, one thing he's going to lose MCOL certification anyway. He'll appeal, and then they will start the disciplinary process, at which point who's ever in charge would write up the charges. They go in front of a board, and it's yea or nay, and you present witnesses. You're found guilty or not guilty. It goes anywhere from a verbal reprimand to dismissal, which, it's my understanding, he's been dismissed at least once.
And brought back to the job through the arbitration process, despite past complaints.
Of course, that's your police unions for you.
There used to be an old saying that if you've never been sued, you've never been a cop. Okay. Excessive force is different.
This has been going on for, it looks like, 3 or 4 years, and I'm curious as to why there hasn't been some action taken in advance.
James Tiganelli is president of the Police Officers Association of Michigan. They don't represent Melvindale, but he says these types of repeat issues only hurt the law enforcement profession.
This is a guy that's been bad for a while, and we're better off being running short-handed than hiring the wrong person.
So how do you nip these kind of things in the bud?
Well, that starts at the local. That starts at the department. I mean, they should challenge it by,
I hope I don't get a strike for that damn music in the background.
you know, disciplining them, firing them, doing those types of things, and then
Taking that post certification and burning it and never allow him to be in law enforcement again.
he has a right through the process to appeal that.
Well, we did reach out to that lieutenant at the office phone, left a message there. Again, city officials not talking about this case as they watch this all play out. The lieutenant will be in court tomorrow to be arraigned on those charges. We're live tonight. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, you know, that scale anywhere between verbal discipline all the way to dismissal is a pretty broad scale, and that's kind of what brings this all together in the first place. I mean, he's had issues before. They've handled it before, but again, the spectrum between verbal
They've
discipline
handled it before. They've done nothing before, which is why we're here.
and dismissal is pretty broad.
Yeah, it really is, and especially in that July 2021 case, the release from the prosecutor's office says that several officers did have that suspect secured. They were in the process of handcuffing and all of that when more of that alleged physical activity from the lieutenant took place there, too. So police are looking at all of this, really, prosecutors looking at all of this, including talking to some of these officers from the other departments, because in that one case, there were officers from other departments involved in securing that suspect. So a lot of details going into this investigation tonight.
Yeah, we know you'll keep following it for us. Dave Kinchin for us live tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Melvindale Police
Whomever that was. So here we are, August the 8th.
But we begin this afternoon with a Melvindale police lieutenant accused of being on the wrong side of the law. Thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 5. I'm Glenda Lewis. Lieutenant Matthew Furman has been at the center of multiple reports by the 7 investigators, and it was this year revealing allegations of excessive force and assault that got the attention of prosecutors. Today, Furman was arraigned before a judge, accused of multiple felonies that could send him to prison. 7 investigator Ross Jones has more from inside the courtroom.
Before 24th District Judge Richard Page today, Melvindale Police Lieutenant Matthew Furman was arraigned via Zoom.
Via Zoom. They're all via Zoom. Didn't even have to show up for court.
One day after being charged with 5 felonies and 3 misdemeanors.
Stop!
The charges stem from 2 alleged assaults involving Furman's use of a taser from last year on 2 different traffic stops that turned violent.
You're gonna be tasered!
I'm sorry, but this has got to go to prison. There are 2 children in the car. He does not care. Psychopath.
He was also charged over a separate incident from 2021 where Furman was seen repeatedly stomping on a man who had just led police on a high-speed pursuit.
I thought he was just going to get away with another slap on the wrist. If that.
Today in court, Furman appeared only briefly on camera as his attorney said he is eager to defend the charges.
These violations that have been charged were looked over after media reports, so then they went through all of his files and came up with 3 things to charge him, which he was no danger 2 or 3 years ago after the incident.
Meanwhile, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office asked that Furman wear a tether while the case is pending, and that he not be allowed to possess any weapons either.
Now, I'm guessing the tether they're talking about is an electronic monitoring device, a GPS, something of that sort. And yes, he should have no firearms.
The judge agreed and gave Furman a $50,000 personal bond.
Personal bond, meaning the taxpayers are not going to have to foot the bill for that bond, allegedly.
This morning, we learned Furman has been placed on administrative leave without pay by the Melvindale Police Department, and his license as a law enforcement officer is now suspended.
Suspended. They need to burn that license.
It is all no doubt welcome news to Furman's accusers, who say while he is the only one charged today, they believe he was empowered by others.
I don't just blame him for what happened, because I don't know what's in his heart that made him do what he did. Everybody plays a part, not just him. The department, the head chief, the mayor.
He's been doing this for years and nobody ever did nothing about it.
Of course they didn't. That's the transparency. They say we got body cams for transparency. Millions and millions and millions. I would argue billions of dollars between the body cameras, the storage alone, and law enforcement's not going to put that out there for you to see. The news brought this to light.
Well, Judge Richard Page said today he would disqualify himself from presiding over this case because Lieutenant Furman, he said, has worked in the community for many years and no doubt has appeared frequently.
Yeah, we see how he works.
In the 24th District Court. That means the case will have to be reassigned to another court, Glenda, before it can proceed. So a little delay there, but that judge says he's too close to it.
Some of that video is so hard to watch.
It is.
Children screaming.
Absolutely, that sticks with you for sure.
All right, thanks a lot, Ross.
Thanks, Ross. So, this degenerate should be in prison. Anyway, that's where I'm at with this one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 82% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. Click the button and we will move along. Let me know what you think about this one, and I am out.